I'm radically transparent with our budget, with our entire team, not just the lawyers, but everybody. They need to understand that we're a business and what goes into running that business, because I think then they can start that entrepreneurial mindset. And if they understand our budget considerations, they're more likely to be sensitive to our clients' budget considerations. So I try to lead by example in that way. I think it works. I hope I'm not stressing the whole team out all of the time with it, because it's not a stress message at all. It's just, exactly.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I've had a number of people on this show, and you're the first person to share that. But if I go back and ask that question of everyone, I would bet probably more than half of we're transparent. I know. I started my business 4 years ago, later on in life. But prior to that, the boss that I had for all those years, he was very transparent about everything. He wanted us to always understand. And you're right, it was not a scare tactic. It was just a reality message.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is what we're generating, and this is how much money we're making, and this is what we need to keep generating so that everyone can stay employed. And if you like it here, that you should be motivated by that. There's a great book. It's called Profit First. It's a little bit hokey, but I encourage especially young or new entrepreneurs to at least take a look at it. Again, it is a little bit hokey, but the message is true that you have to be. And that's not an evil word, profit. It shouldn't be perceived that way. Without that, there's no business.
Yeah.
And profit doesn't mean greed. It just means that you have enough money to be able to grow your business or expand your business or hire more people, or whatever it is you want to do with that extra money.
Yeah.
But that book is really all about, okay, that's the very first thing you have to take care of. Otherwise, you really don't have a business. And I think part of the challenge today with shows like Shark Tank and Dragon's Den is it's glorified that getting venture capital, or that's the way to make money. When in fact, for people like you and I, we have to make sure we have a profitable, sustainable business, something that we've started from scratch and can at least grow to a certain point on our own.
Where I think it will present some real challenge, and I think our industry is not alone probably, is that's going to get rid of the young people jobs. So if our stock and trade, if what we're good at is the wisdom piece, it takes years to gain that wisdom.
How are they going to get that wisdom?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
so I mean, it's not my problem, as it turns out, because I'm already too old to care, I guess. But it's true. I mean, we have a lot of young people at our firm, and they're not going to get squeezed out because of this, because it's going to take several years, and they're going to gain the wisdom in the meantime. But at a certain point, we're going to say, why, we have AI doing the work of juniors and clerks. And that's good for the client, it's good for the industry, but there's going to be this gap of, well, how do you learn that stuff?
Yeah. But I find that it would be my guess that there'll be something we haven't thought of yet today that will then fill that gap for those junior people.
Yeah.
That they'll be able to get that wisdom and the experience. But I find a lot of entrepreneurs, or especially older entrepreneurs, tend to resist technology. And my advice to them all the time is you can't escape this stuff. So you better embrace it. You better understand it. And it doesn't mean every piece of technology is right for your business, and that's okay. But you can't just dismiss it because it's it's based in technology as something that your business doesn't need, because we're seeing it even with one of our clients that deals a lot in the rural areas of Ottawa, and a lot of farmers, and the technology that they have is incredible.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't even guess that. But having seen it firsthand, it's amazing.
It's in every business.
It's in every business, and you can't escape it, and you really should embrace it and try to make it, try to use it to your advantage for sure.
Yeah. I think it took me a little while to learn was that even if you're a team of two, obviously yourself, you can work with yourself if you're solopreneur at first, but the minute you start growing a team, that team is the most important thing, and they need to be the focus of your attention at all times, and not just in terms of talking them up and making them feel good about themselves, but in terms of making sure you communicate with them. I discovered I wasn't naturally inclined to sort of tell people you're doing a good job. It's not the world I came from, when nobody patted us on the head and told us you're doing a good job. You know, and I didn't do that enough at first. I didn't tell people that was a really great memo or, you know, whatever. And so learning to really understand each person's individual needs, and that a team, you know, is stronger with diversity. You don't need a bunch of cookie cutters as you grow your team by any stretch. So then you have to figure out what each person needs. You can't assume everyone needs the same thing.
I met with someone, not on this show, but a while back, and he said to me, I'm going to get the line wrong, but basically what he said was, "Oh, if I would have known being an entrepreneur was this hard, I never would have done it in the first place." And I said, what were you envisioning, you know? He said, "Well, I thought I was going to be taking time off, and my time was my own." And I said, "Well, yeah, there's some of that, but you better understand what you're getting into here. You know, even on holidays, you know, I'll spend the first hour of that day just making sure everything's okay." Yeah. Because I know it's going to be on my mind all day, and if I can clear that out mentally at the beginning of the day, even on vacation, then I'm going to have a better day later on. So I think it's a bit of a falsehood that people think they start a business and it's a free for all. You know, just do whatever you want with your time, and it's just not reality. Yeah,
and I think even you grow your team so that you would have more spare time. Third lesson learned. In fact, you just grow your responsibilities. Right. So, I mean, it's been great to grow our team and bring in more expertise and have people doing different things. But it has not made life less busy. That's
well, no, because now you're managing, in addition to running a business, now you're managing a group as well, right?
So exactly.